So we are live, brothers and sisters. We are live. I am very, I have to apologize, brothers and sisters, because I have been unfortunately under a lot of pressure this week, and I've been under heavy spiritual oppression. So please forgive me if I've been postponing this, as I know that we originally agreed for 10 p.m. So please forgive me. And tonight we'll be talking about a subject that deals with the man of sin. And also we'll be talking about scriptures in Enoch that perfectly links with the book of Revelation, and I'm sure that you will be much edified as I've prepared this in the best way that I've tried my best to put this together. So anyways, I know we had agreed originally, just so then you know, I know we've originally agreed to have Brother Shane on, and Brother Shane, as I can see, was planned to come in now, and I just got word that it was not possible for him this time, as he was very much he really wanted to do this live stream, but we didn't agree on some points, and I just said to him, well, we'll have to do another live stream next time, and he will be focusing on evangelizing. So I'm sorry, brothers and sisters, if you agreed to watching this live stream in the original intent of seeing our conversation with Brother Shane, but that unfortunately didn't go in the way that I'd thought that it would pan out. So I'm very sorry. So I'm not going to be lingering on this, brothers and sisters. We are really living in challenging moments, and the scripture clearly tells us that brother will be against brother, that sisters will rise against sisters, and that even sons will rise against fathers. And all of that premise will be because of sin waxing more and more in the last days. And we are told by Yahshua to not believe any man, that in the last days there will be many false prophets that will arise, deceiving, if it were possible, even the elect. Now, there are a couple of screen shares that I would like to show you, and when I will share them, I will bear in mind to keep my IP address off, as I made that mistake last time. So I'm going to do a cast screen, and I'm just going to get this right. So here we go. And I am casting right now the screen. So if anyone in the chat can just tell me that they're seeing this correct, I hope that they're seeing this. So excuse me, I'm just going to go on the live so I can see everyone on. Okay, so we are seeing the screen share. So we have in 2 Thessalonians, we'll jump right at this verse. 2 Thessalonians verse 3 in chapter 2, we have we'll go to the King James. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. Now, we see clearly that there is a falling away that will occur before the manifestation of the son of perdition. Now, if we look at this this verse, it really gives us a picture of what is the events leading to the revelation of the man of sin. The events that will lead to that will be a falling away, and the word for falling away is apostasia. Now, if we go in the interlinear, you will see, brothers and sisters, that falling away is the word apostasia. So here we have the word apostasy, where we get our word apostasy. And in Strong's Concordance 646, we look at this word and we find the definition, defection, revolt. And in Strong's Concordance, we have here defection, short definition, defection, apostasy, revolt. So we're talking about a revolt from the faith, the parting away from the faith. You even have it here, apostasia, leave, depart, which is derived from apo, away from, properly departure. So we need to see this event happen on a really, in a general sense, across the whole world. We will need to see this evidence in order for the man of sin to be revealed. So I already have the work done for me on Bible Hub. You have here the man of lawlessness. He is referred to as the man of lawlessness. You've got cross references here with Daniel 7:25. We will go to Daniel 7:25, chapter 7, verse 25. And in chapter 7, verse 25, we have this cross-reference in the King James Bible. And he shall, so this is still talking about the man of sin, he shall speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And I can tell you, brothers and sisters, I have been feeling worn out of late. And I know other brothers and sisters can relate to what I'm saying. And it says, and think to change times and laws. So he will change, literally, seasons. He will change times. Now, if we really want to get a perspective of what he's talking about, it's always good to go to the root of the original language. And as we see that he will change the times and the season. So if we go in the definition of time in the Strong's Concordance 5732, the word is idan. So this is in Aramaic corresponding to idah. It says the moment, situation, time. And it also says in Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, Aramaic from a root corresponding to that of ed, a set, a time, technically a year. So basically, what I'm gathering from this verse is that he will change the years, the season. He will completely change that. And we know that the Roman Catholic Church has been, of course, always basing their time originally on the Gregorian calendar. And this is, of course, according to their time and seasons. Now, I don't know anything about this, but I know that Brother Adam has made much videos that deals on this subject about the times, the seasons, and that we should be on the correct calendar, the calendar of Yahshua. And that is the Hebrew calendar. I truly believe that we're talking about the Hebrew calendar, as this is the times and the dividing of times, it says here, of the man of sin. He will change that. He will alter that. So if you look at this verse again, it says that he will make alterations. Here in the New American Standard, he will speak out against the Most High. So he will say great swelling words to the Most High. He will wear down the saints of the highest one, still talking about Yahushua, and he will intend to make alterations here, like alterations, change the times, the seasons. and they will be given into his hand for a time, times and a half time. So I'm assuming that means 3.5 years. It says here, shall speak great words against the Most High. So we're talking about really a supernatural individual that will be embedded with such a force that he will be even given an ability to cause fire to come down from heaven. Here we have, even in Daniel chapter 8 and 25, if you can see this on my screen, in this cross-reference, he will speak out against the Most High and oppress the saints of the Most High, intending to change, we've read that, through his craft, and by his hand he will cause deceit to prosper. And in his own mind he will make himself great. In a time of peace he will destroy many. And he will even stand against the prince of princes. Now that is Michael, the archangel Michael. But not by human hands. Yet he will be broken off, but not by human hands. That is interesting, saying that he will be broken, but of a supernatural force. So for this man, in order to deceive, he will need to have such a force that the world would have never seen before. And that is why I wanted to share with you tonight the book of Enoch and how that related to Azazel. If we go in the book of Enoch, we'll see that Azazel was the fallen angel that gave the ability to man to make knives, to make swords, to make all sorts of metals. And Azazel is also mentioned in the book of Enoch as being imprisoned in the bottomless pit. He is said that he is imprisoned in the depths of the earth, and that he will be also in the last days released, and he will be cast into fire. That is the same fate of the beast in the book of Revelation. He will also be cast in the lake of fire. That is the last judgment. So here we have in chapter 7, so you can be familiar with the angels that came in the days of Jared. It says here, chapter 7, and it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of the heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children. And Semyaza, who was the leader, said unto them, I fear you will not indeed agree to this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of great sin. And they all answered. Now, I truly believe this, brothers and sisters, that when we're talking about the dragon, and that we're talking about the beast and the false prophet, we're talking about 3 different individuals. They're not the same. They're not the same person. We know that Satan in Scripture has always been said to mimic the workings and the miracles of Yahshua. He is always said to try and copy. We know that in the story of Moses was said that when he came and confronted Pharaoh and to plead with him to let his people go, that he had to cause that his staff to be transformed into a snake, into a serpent, and that the magicians had the very same ability. So we're always seeing this challenge between Satan and the fallen, where they are trying to mimic, but on the lesser level. And here it says, getting back to the book of Enoch, and you will understand how this connects and how this all plays out. Let us swear an oath and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then swear they all together and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And there were in all 200, who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called it Mount Hermon because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And these are the names of the leaders. Now, bear in mind these names as it's in the book of Enoch. And if you believe the book of Enoch, then you have to understand that these names are very important, as they will correlate with the book of Revelation and what has been revealed in these last days. Semyazaz, the leader, Arikiba, Ramiel, Kokabiel, Tamiel, Ramiel, Daniel, Ezekiel. You see how that mimics the names of the prophets. Daniel, Ezekiel, Baraquiel, Azazel, Armaros, Batarel, Ananel, Zachiel, Samsapiel, Satarel, Turel, Jomiel, Sariel, and these are the chiefs of 10. So here are all names of these 200, the chief of these 200 watchers that came down in the days of Jared. Now, if we go to chapter 7, okay, that's chapter 6 that I was reading. And all the other together with them took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one, and they began to go in unto them. So they're having sexual intercourse with the women. They're having sexual intercourse with women that were created to, of course, have children, but of men. We're not created to have this interaction, this intimate interaction with angels. And the response given to them by God, saying that you were created, for heaven. You were not created for the earth. I created man and gave him dominion on the earth, and you were not meant to have that estate. Your estate was in the heavenly realms. And that was a serious breach of trust. And of course, they became pregnant in verse 2. They bear great giants. It says great giants. And great giants who consume, and they bear great giants whose height was 3,000 ells. And that translates roughly to, I think it was about 3,000 meters, if I'm not mistaken. And I checked that out on Google. Don't know if there is a mistake on that, because that is as high as mountains. But I reinvestigated that, and I found out that actually 3,000 ells is actually smaller than what they had put on Google. So they have a height that is humongous, but not really as high as mountains. I don't buy into that. Who consumed all the acquisitions of men, and when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds, beasts, reptiles, and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. Then the earth laid accusations against the lawless ones. So they are lawless ones. And isn't that interesting? The word lawless is synonymous. I mean, if you were a detective and you were trying to find out, okay, what these titles, where's the link? Where is the link with lawless? Well, you find lawless exactly in this verse, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no one deceive you in any way, for that day will not arrive until the rebellion comes and the man of lawlessness. Now, here we have different translations. Some says man, some says the man of lawlessness, the man of sin. We have other translations that say says I think it says man of sin, the son of perdition. But if we go to the interlinear, what do we have any more indication that gives us more of more detail on who is this man of sin? So we look at in 2 Thessalonians in the interlinear, and it clearly says The man, anthropos. So we're talking about a man here. Interesting. Anthropos. Strong's Concordance, 444. So that is short definition. A man, one of the human race. So that is very precise. It says human race. If we go further, in the exhaustive concordance, New American Standard, a man, human, mankind. So it is a kind of the species of man. What else do we find? Strong's exhaustive concordance. Certain man from there ops the countenance from aptanomai. I don't know if I could pronounce that correctly. Man-faced. A human being, a certain man. Man-faced. So we know that the angels also came as men. They were man-faced, right? So what am I trying to get at? It says the son of perdition here, the son of destruction. If you go in the book of Revelation, and I'm really trying to get this as much as condensed as possible so you can get the picture as we've got a lot to cover. We look at in Revelation 9, we're going to go straight to it. Revelation 9. When the beast is released from the bottomless pit, he will be accompanied by a horde of demonic entities. They are said to look like, have an appearance of men, they have a face of a man, and that they have their teeth of lions, that they have hair of women. They have a very hybrid looking like appearance. And we know that Azazel in the book of Enoch is said to be imprisoned in the bottomless pit with all of the fallen angels. Now, to me, I don't think that these are demons. I truly believe that this alludes more to that they are actually angels. They are the angels that sinned in the days of Jared, and that they are imprisoned in the bottomless pit with Azazel. We go down to the part where it says, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue, Apollyon. So if you look at in the interlinear of that word, it actually means destroyer, exterminator, terminator, basically. Sorry. We go to the interlinear, you'll find out that angelon says angel, the angel of the bottomless pit, of the abyss, abusos in Hebrew, but in the Greek, I think it's abusos in the Greek, and in the Hebrew it's theom. So there we go, abusos in the Greek, the abyss. Definition: unfathomable depth, and an especially Jewish conception, the home of dead and evil spirits. The only evil spirits that fit this category are the fallen angels, and they are the ones that are mentioned in the book of Enoch. Here again, deep, bottomless, a negative particle, and a variation of buphos, depthless, infernal, abyss, deep, bottomless, no end. And we see that the name Abaddon, getting back to the Terminator, we see that the word Abaddon is the Strong's Concordance, free, Abaddon in the New Testament, Abaddon, the angel of the abyss, this definition, destroyer, or a place of destruction, as Sheol was originally defined as a place of destruction. If you look at Sheol in Hebrew, it was always associated to a wasteland, a place of destruction, where no memories, there is no memories in that landscape, and it was always identified within the subterranean realms, the underworld that is below the earth. So if you believe in the flat earth, the only area that you can place this God-forsaken landscape is under the earth, and the earth is flat. So under that earth, you will have layers, and and under those layers, it goes it is so deep that we have only drilled 8 miles, and that says a lot. That says a lot, because 8 miles is pathetic, considering that we are bragging of reaching the stars, of reaching into space. Even Trump saying that we have created, a space force. I mean, for crying out loud, brothers and sisters, we haven't drilled as far as 8 miles. That is pathetic. So obviously, when we are shown a globe at school, that we are shown, that the crust of the earth, and that we are shown that there is, like, a huge there is like a heart that is made of solid or liquid metal, and that there is layers of lava, and that that we've discovered what's down there. We don't know what's down there, and we have no clue. But if we want to grasp, and we want to really seek out the truth on these matters, we have no need to go further than in the book of Enoch, and in places such as Ezekiel, the Psalms, the book of Job. We can also go in many other scriptures that talk about the Sheol, that talk about the abyss, and the abyss is mentioned in more detail in the book of Enoch, and we can go to it in a minute. So here we go. The angel of the abyss is synonymous with the beast that will be revealed in chapter 11. If we go in chapter 11, so hang on, just going to go to chapter 11. So this entity is the very same entity, is the very same person. So this is a fallen angel that we're talking about. When he will ascend from that realm, he will kill the 2 witnesses. So here we are in Revelation 11, and this is after the event of Revelation 9. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God. So this is John. This is actually John being told to measure the temple of God. So I actually thought that it was the 2 witnesses that were measuring the temple, but no, it's actually John. John what is measuring the temple of God, the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple, without, and measure it not. So he's not measuring the court, which is, without the temple, which is outside. Measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months. Sorry. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth. Now, I'm quite curious, because it says standing before the God of the earth. I'm quite curious because there's capital G inserted there, but what is, and I've just stumbled on this information, brothers. I'm no expert in this. The Father was just showing me all of these different golden nuggets, and there was something telling me in my spirit, it's the man of sin is the angel that was cast in the bottomless pit. The man of sin, the beast, it's the same person. Now, is that person, when I'm saying is the man of sin has a physical body? Yes, he has a physical body. He is man-faced. He is a man. But then what is empowering that man? And that's the question that I would like you to really settle in your heart is who is empowering him. The Bible says that the dragon will give him authority, but clearly he will ascend from the sea, and that he is the same individual that will oppress the saints. And he is also said, he that rises from the bottomless pit, that he will make war on the saints, and that he will also kill the witnesses. So are we talking about the same individual? Well, if it's the spirit and the body, well, we're talking still about the same individual, but it's the two essences. They're not the part of that same person, but there are two aspects: the spirit and the body. So in Revelation chapter 11, these are the two olive trees and the two lampstands before the Lord of the earth standing. So what is the word for God here? Well, we go to the before the Lord, 29:62 in Strong's Concordance, Kurios. So here it's Lord, Master, Kurios, Master, Sir, a person exercising absolute ownership rights, Lord, Kuros. Is that, brothers and sisters, is God mentioned here in this verse? That's why we are told to study, to show ourselves approved, because there are many things that we have believed. I came from a background in churches where I've been doing that. My pastors told me and say, yeah, well, just skim this over, and then we don't really search out the matter to see if it really means what it means. I'm getting by this verse, the Lord just says Lord. It doesn't say Yahuwah. It doesn't say God. It just says Kyrie, Kurios, like curious, Lord. There's just Lord of the earth, of the guests of the earth, standing. So standing before the God, the Lord of all the earth. That doesn't say that it's God. So when we read the scriptures, that it clearly says that the prince of this world, the prince of the power of the air, has blinded men and women to the knowledge of God. Well, who has authority over this earth? I am asking you the question, brothers and sisters. It is obviously Satan. It is, in this verse, it is referring to Satan. The prophets that are standing, they are standing in front of this beast. Now, I'm gonna show you this in the King James. We're gonna go right to it. These are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. So we looked at the interlinear, and nowhere it said that it was Yahuwah. So why would we assume that it is Yahuwah if we look at the next verse? Because it clearly said Kurios, Lord. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devoureth the enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have power to shut heaven, that it will not in the days of the prophecy, and have not power over waters to turn them, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. Right after this, it says the witnesses are killed. And when they shall have finished the testimony, the beast that ascendeth out. Okay, so that's exactly the verse that I read to you before in chapter 9, where it says, the beast of the bottomless pit will arise. And this is the same entity, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them, and kill them, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So this location obviously is Jerusalem. That's where Yahshua was crucified. And it says clearly that an earthquake will occur after that they are resurrected. But obviously before that, they would have been killed. And we know that the saints will be martyred, and they also will be overcome by the beast. If we go to, I think it's Revelation 8, if I'm not mistaken, before the bottomless pit is opened, there is it. Oh yeah, there we go. The seventh seal. The same fate happens to the martyrs, just as the two witnesses. So here we go. Verse 3, and another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints ascended up before God out of the angel's hand. And the angel took the censers and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and earthquake. So those are the martyrs, by the way. All of the prayers that are rising is just after the event where they were martyred. And it was actually in chapter 7. No, it was not in chapter 7. I think it was in chapter 6. It was in chapter 6. So let's go to chapter 6. There we go. The fifth seal, martyrs. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until the fellow servants and also the brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. Now, I wanted to get to that part where it says that the beast oppressed the saints. And these are the saints. Clearly, these martyrs are the saints. It clearly says that they were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. What I'm interested also, as I said in just a couple moments ago, we should really prove all things and really study to show ourselves approved in these last days. So we looked at the word Lord in that other verse with the two witnesses that were standing in front of the God of the earth. And what I gather from that, it says Noah Yahshua. So are we talking about God, or are we talking about the prince of this world, which is Satan? Because it clearly says that Jesus, when he said, this kingdom is not my kingdom, and that his kingdom is from above. When he was talking to Pilate, my kingdom is not of this world. Why would Jesus say such a thing? Why would our Heavenly Father YHWH say such a thing to Pilate? Well, it's because he's saying to him, this kingdom doesn't belong to me at the moment, but it will belong to me when I will come back with great power, great glory, and I will destroy the wicked. I will judge this world, and that I will burn it. I will burn it with fire, and a new heaven and a new earth will be rising from the ashes. And that's clearly what it says. And I'm not making this up. It's so incredible. Now let's go back to the verse in 10 where it says, "O Lord, holy and true." Are they using the same word in the Greek kurios, or are they actually going to say God, the Almighty One, Yahuwah? That I'm curious to see. So here we go. It says Lord, despotes. You see, it's not kurios. It's not the same. It is not. And I'm very sorry, brothers. I'm under heavy um, spiritual warfare at the moment. I'm feeling it all over me. So bear with me, brothers and sisters. If you can pray for me, I will gladly receive your prayers, as I'm feeling a lot of adversity at the moment. So despotes, Lord. We look at the word despotes. What does that mean? Is it kurios? No. It says despotes, Lord, master, of an uncertain origin, Lord, master, despot, master, an absolute ruler. So that's different from what we were seeing before, where it was written, the God of this earth, the Lord of this earth. So you see, translations are very important. We need to compare the translations. Not everything in the King James, brothers and sisters, is correct to the T. We have the general salvation that is agreed on all of the versions, but there are some words that have been removed and entire books that have been also removed. So we are being revealed this in the last time, and it's no wonder that Joel prophesied this, saying that that in the last days, in the latter days, the Spirit of God will pour out on all flesh. Why? Why will he pour out on all flesh? Well, because he will be giving us all of this knowledge that has been withheld from us for centuries. So Deo, you see, from the word Deo, Deus, Deus in Latin, that's where it comes from. God. So you see, it's not the same word as kurios that we saw in the book of Revelation. It was in chapter 12. It is not the same. We're not seeing the same word being used. It is an entirely different word. Now, again, if you don't remember, in the Revelation 12, not 12, sorry, I'm always mixing this up. Revelation 11, it clearly says they are the two olive trees that stand before the Lord of the earth. So we go to Lord of the earth, go into the interlinear, and I really encourage you to do this yourselves. You will see that the Bible Hub, while we still have it, is a very good tool where we can cross-reference, where we can get the interlinear, the original word, so that will dispel any errors of translation or of misrepresentations in the word. So we look at the interlinear again. As I said, kurios is not the same as despotes. Kyrio, Lord, and before we were looking at despotes, and I lost it now. I'm really sorry. Despotes. Kurios, there we go. And despotes. So kuros, authority, Lord, master, Lord, master. Going back to it, kuros, from kuros, supremacy, supreme in authority, controller, by implication, master, respectful, Lord. But it's not the same word being used. And in that other word, we find the word despotes, which is interesting, which I find is quite interesting, that you will not find the same word. So are we talking about the God of the earth, which is Satan, because he's obviously here, and that he will rise from the bottomless pit? Are we talking about entity, or we're talking about God, Yahuwah, as clearly it says in the book of Revelation 8, that the word despotis, and I lost it. In Revelation 6, was it 6? The Lord, was it again Lord? Was it Revelation? Yeah, it was Revelation. Was it Revelation 6? I can't remember. Or was it? Yeah, it was 8. Yeah, that's the one. Then the angel took the censer and filled So, no, that was not the one. That was Revelation 7. Therefore, they are the throne of God. Serve him day and night. I'm very sorry, brothers and sisters. I had lost this. For some reason, it's not there. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying with the book of Enoch, we find Azazel. Azazel is mentioned also in the part where he is cast in the lake of fire. And I remember I was reading this in my book, my personal book of Enoch, which is not online. So Azazel is mentioned, his fate is mentioned. I believe it's in the first chapters of the book of Enoch, one of the first chapters. We'll quickly get to that part. Was it in section 2? I'm not really sure. Was it section 3? Hang on. That's the luminaries. I'm not going to go to that. Section 5. That's the woe to the sinners. I don't like this version. For some reason, I don't like this version. It's the same, but I've just got a difficulty finding it. There we go. So Azazel, he is said as having the same fate as the beast in the book of Revelation. There we go. And Azazel, chapter 8, and Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth. Remember, in Daniel, it clearly says that they will mingle themselves with the seed of, they will mix. There we go, mix with one another. There we go, but they will not cleave to one another. So he's talking about the metal in the last days. He's talking about metal. So if we look at in Daniel, I'm going to go again to Daniel. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. Daniel again. Daniel. Oh, not Ezekiel. Daniel. My bad. Daniel. Where's Daniel? Hey, Daniel. Daniel. Where are you? Daniel. There it is. Daniel. And it's in, I think it's in, which verse is it? Where they mix. I'll just type it again. Mix, as I don't remember the word exactly. They will mingle. Mix. There we go. They will mix. There we go. They will mix with one another in marriage. There is also the other version that says mingle. I think it's in the King James. There we go. And whereas, so it's Daniel chapter 2, verse 43. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron. So this, just to get the context, Daniel was seeing the vision of the statue of Nebuchadnezzar, and that they represent different kingdoms, and the toes, the feet of that statue represents the latter kingdom. That's the kingdom that will be in the last days. And I truly believe that is linked to the transhuman movement that we are seeing unfold before our very eyes. So here we go, chapter 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. Did you get that? And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, iron. And what do we see in the book of Enoch? And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives, shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals, that's plural, of the earth, and the art of working them. So if we go to the fate of Azazel, which is very interesting, And we don't have much time, brothers and sisters. I'm really sorry. I'll be a lot more prepared the next time, as I've received a considerable amount of opposition of late. Here we go. And all of the children of men, if you can see this on your screen. Okay, sorry. Let's back up a bit. Let's back up a bit and let's get the whole chapter. Then said the Most High, the Holy and Great One spake and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech and said to him, go to Noah and tell him in my name, hide thyself and reveal to him the end that is approaching. The end that is approaching. The whole earth will be destroyed. And the deluge is about to come upon the whole earth and will destroy that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape his seed and may be preserved for all generations of the world. It's talking about Noah. And again, the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot and cast him into darkness. I'll just quickly cross-reference this because it says the angels that kept not the first estate were cast into everlasting chains. That kept not the first estate. I'm going to cross-reference here, guys, quickly, and just bear with me. We're talking about the same people, guys, and the angels. There we go, English Standard, King James. And the angels which kept not their first estate, that means their habitation, their realm, dimension, whatever you want to call it, brothers and sisters. Well, not whatever, but just this is a way of speaking. But left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. So we go back to the book of Enoch. It's exactly the same fate of Azazel. Bind him hand and foot and cast him into darkness and make an opening in the desert. Does that remind you of sinkholes? Well, it sure does. Which is in Dudale, and cast therein, and place upon him rough jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness. Again, Jude, chains under darkness. What does it say here? It clearly says cover him with darkness. Talking about the same people, the same entities, and let him abide there forever. And what did it say, Jude? Everlasting chains, everlasting. That means forever, but unto the judgment of the great day. What is that? Well, that's when Yahshua is coming back. That is when all of these plagues, when the bottomless pit will open. Sorry, brothers and sisters, will open. That is the great day, the coming of Yahshua. And cover his face that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment, there we go, judgment, the day of the great judgment, Jude, unto the judgment of the great day. Said differently, but it's the same thing. He shall be cast, he, Azazel, shall be cast into the fire. There, and heal the earth which the angels have corrupted. That means God. He will heal the earth which the angels have corrupted. And remember, there is a scripture that clearly says that he has charged angels with folly. He charged the angels with folly. Charged the angels, that I think was in the book of Job, angels with folly. That was in the book of Job. That's right, in the book of Job. If God put no trust in his servants, and his angels he charged with folly. And that's what we're talking about, brothers and sisters. If you don't understand the book of Enoch, you will not understand the book of Revelations, as these are fallen angels. And I truly believe the man of sin will be empowered, whatever you want to call it. He will be literally empowered by a fallen angel, and he will have a physical body. Clearly, he will have a physical body. He'll have an appearance of a man. But remember, the scripture clearly says that when the men appeared in Sodom, they appeared as men. Angels have an ability to transform themselves. Think about the movie Transformers, how much Hollywood has been showing these things. And some people will just read the Bible and just read it blindly. Just look at the words and just say, well, okay, it says here literally, but we should believe it literally, but then we should understand the symbols that are being used, the context, or what of who it's talking about. We cannot just pick and choose verses and just make a whole theology of it. We need to confirm, and that's what these cross references are here are here for, this purpose, to really show you that I'm not making this up. You can look at this for yourself. I've just shown you this. It's like a demo. You can go on Bible Hub yourself and do exactly what I've done. This is not me picking and choosing. These are references to all books that confirm that clearly the fallen angels, they will arise in the latter days. They will deceive, and they will say that they are extraterrestrials. They are the ones that will say they're extraterrestrials, but no, Yahshua will come back and he will destroy them with a fury. And we will be persecuted because we'll be releasing this information. Everything that had to do with transhumanism, all of these live streams that Brother Adam and Brother Justin has been doing every time, hacked with porn, cut off from the live stream, off the air. And I've been having a lot of opposition, brothers and sisters, and I've been praying in the spirit for me, to be. I've just prayed with Brother Adam so that I've enough strength to share this information with, because it's not evident to share this. We're touching on a sensitive topic, and just to show you that the Book of Enoch clearly says that this entity Azazel, remember that name Azazel, he will be cast into the fire. He shall be cast into fire. Here it is. And what does the Book of Revelation says? The Book of Revelation clearly says that the beast will be taken. The beast will be taken. The beast taken. There's beast will be taken. Just trying to get that verse. The beast taken. I just put the beast and the false prophet. The beast. There we go. I'm just going to go to Revelation 13. And I'll go to that part where he will be destroyed, because it's not in Revelation 13. It's later on where it says that he will be destroyed. So bear with me. And it's exactly the same fate of Azazel. If we go to Revelation 14, and we're going to gently wrap this up, brothers and sisters. I'm really sorry if we couldn't get through all of this, but I think we'll do a second part. I really think we'll do a second part, and hopefully we'll be better prepared with the help of Yahshua. I saw another sign in heaven. Hang on. I'm getting to the part where the beast is judged. So, the beast being judged, full of no, that's not the one. It's really at the end when the beast is being judged. He has the same fate as Azazel. But I know you know what I'm talking about. But I just want people to see this. So it's right in front of your face. Victory of the Lamb. There we go. So that's Babylon. This is not the subject today. Babylon. As it's also an interesting subject. Lament over Babylon, the saints rejoice. Okay. And now let's 19. I think it's 19. Yeah. Defeat of the beast and the false prophet. And in verse 17, and I saw an angel standing in the sun. And that's interesting, brothers and sisters, and we might touch upon this next time, because it clearly says in the book of Enoch that angels carry the sun like a chariot. Actually, that it's like a chariot. And I'm working on a video that I really would like, a lot of you that are, subscribed to Adam on Parable of the Vineyard. And I just would like a reminder, brothers, before I forget, please please join the fellowship group of Justin. And here is the details. Justin Christian Truthers Patreon. So here, that is his Patreon, his PayPal account. And here is the fellowship group. I would like to just get this. Christian, is this the... Well, I can't see the link. If maybe Brother Adam, could you put the link for Brother Justin for the fellowship group that he usually has? That would be really helpful, as I don't have a real-time view of the chat. So if you could just put that on, please. Question. Okay. So if Adam can put this. Oh yeah, Adam actually didn't put my link on. Doesn't matter. I will put the link, guys, onto my channel. I'm sorry, Sister Linda, but yes, I will put the link on. I'm just going to get to my channel so you can see. Here's my channel, but unfortunately, I cannot put the link on the chat. Oh, Adam isn't here. All right. Okay. Oh, I can't put it. I don't know if you got that, but I can't put it on. Anyways, it's Gen6Project. If ever, you can see it on the last live stream that I did on transhumanism, divination, and sorcery, mentioned in Bible prophecy. That was the last live stream I did. You will find my link on there. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying, it is very important for us to link these verses, because it clearly says here in Revelation 19, and this links with Azazel, the same fate. It says that the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles with them, which he deceived them that received the mark of the beast and them that worshipped. These both were cast into a lake of fire. All right, a lake of fire. Here's the verse, brother. These brothers and sisters, these both were cast into a lake of fire. Same thing with Azazel. And on the day of the great judgment, he shall be cast into the fire. Azazel, bind him hand and foot. So we'll talk about this in more detail next time, as are scriptures that talk about the man of sin. Some believe that the man of sin is also mentioned in the Daniel, where it says that he knows dark sentences and that he will not honor the God of his fathers. So some say, well, how can that be a fallen angel, given that it is clearly a man? Well, a fallen angel can possess. Can he possess a body? And how would that work out? Because clearly we see in Revelation, the beast is cast alive into lake fire. So we need to work this out, brothers and sisters. And if there are brothers such as Sean, I know Sean did a live stream where they were talking a lot about the book of Enoch. If we can work this and reason this out, because it clearly says that the beast is cast alive into lake fire, and the same fate awaits Azazel. Says that he will be cast into fire. So anyways, brothers and sisters, I hope you were, though that I had difficulty releasing this information tonight. I'm really sorry about this. I'm not in my best of shapes. And I'm happy that you're seeing this, because you can see how frail we truly are. Keep your eyes focused on Yahshua. Keep your eyes focused on him. And remember, the man of sin will be revealed very soon. But before that, there needs to be a great falling away. And when that falling away will occur, that is when the man of sin will be revealed. So there are many folks that are saying that the man of sin is Obama or Jared Kushner or Putin. I don't believe it's any of these individuals. The book of Daniel clearly says that the man of sin will have a fierce countenance, so a fierce look, and that he will have such a fierce look that the world will be deceived. So to get Muslims, Buddhists, Christians, all of these people on earth to be deceived, you will need such a supernatural manifestation. And I cannot see that with just a simple man such as Obama, Putin, though they're part of secret societies, I mean, or even Trump, but they don't have that supernatural energia that I was talking about on the last live stream. They really need it. To me, it has to be either a Nephilim or a fallen angel that fits that role. So we might expand on that more next time. I love you, brothers and sisters, and I hope that Adam is here. I'm here. Well, you can end it, brother, and I love you very much, and keep your eyes focused on Yahushua. Amen.